John. I need to get this in the pod.
Tell us how you were dumped viciously by text.
Well, I read the words "I've been thinking,"
And you just know.
that was just it. Really, I knew the rest of the message.
Oh, I had a similar incident. It was like maybe we won't hang out today, and then I was like, I think I'm gonna get dumped, which really annoyed me because I was gonna dump her 2 weeks before, and I didn't, and I was like,
she got in there first.
Then she got in there first, and yeah,
Devastated.
I know. We're back, new environment, as you can see.
For those viewers of the pod.
Yeah, we're in an office today. We've moved up in the world.
We have.
Or down, because there's no DVDs or anything around, is there? It's kind of boring.
Yeah, it's not as exciting background, but
It's more professional.
yeah, we know.
Maddie, why are we here today?
Well, we're gonna talk about the Shrek movies because, as we know, they're amazing.
Shrek is awesome and part of our childhood, which is why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
That's cool.
pinnacle to our childhood, I think.
Okay, so that's it. Let's do like a cut, and then Josh, take us away to like some kind of funky intro screen or something.
Take us away to Funky Town.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, okay, cut. Good, let's go. All right, so am I starting with Shrek 1 then?
Go on then.
All right, so
What are your opinions?
well, I obviously love Shrek 1. I can't speak highly of it. I remember having it on video.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm pretty sure my family stole it off the family that lived next door because the kid that lived next door that I used to play out with, his grandmother like borrowed a £5 off all the neighbours or something, or a £10 or something, but then never paid it back. So my stepdad was like, I think we'll just keep the film that we had borrowed off them. So it was fair game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And it's VHS, it probably can't be used anymore anyway.
VHS, yeah. So I remember watching it on VHS and just absolutely loving it. And it was the first sort of kids film I remember watching, because obviously you've got like your Sleeping Beauty and your Snow White and all that kind of
traditional Disney type films.
Exactly, yeah. And yeah, like maybe my mum would sit and watch that and stuff, like if I was there. But Shrek was the first one I remember, like the whole family just sitting around and laughing at, and everyone kind of enjoyed it, no matter what their age. And that's the first time I actually felt I'd probably watched a film with an audience that we all got it on some level.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't get that as a kid, but looking back, I was like, oh, hang on. Everyone likes, like, we're kind of laughing at the same jokes, but for different reasons. So that's my kind of quick take on it. But
I personally think I enjoy Shrek way more now than I did when I was little.
oh yeah.
I don't know if it's because, like, obviously we've all grown up with it and we've not necessarily, like, we've all got the same kind of feelings about it. So, like, now we're older, we're all like, oh my god, Shrek's amazing, but we didn't really think about it when we were kids and we just kind of watched it. So now as, like, adults, we're all like, this is the best films ever, and they still stand up to this day.
Yeah, well, there's been a few movies I've watched when I was younger I really enjoyed, and I watched again when I was old, and I was like,
yeah. High School Musical is one
I
of them.
liked that.
But no, like, but yes, I have watched the first one a few months back, and it does hold up, like, because I remember, like, in school, like, one of us would just say one of the lines from the movie, and then we would just end up, like, quoting pretty much the rest of the film, like, we all enjoyed
I still
it
do that
much.
now.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's just so easily quotable, and you can slip into, and it's like the whole thing's iconic. It's not just like some movies have like one scene.
That's literally on it says on my
on
list
your
of
list.
notes. It says so many good quotes.
But it's true though. There's so many things from Donkey to being like,
That is a
I
nice
like-
boulder.
that's
I like that
exactly-
boulder. That is a
exactly.
nice boulder.
oh, that,
And I say that to everything. It doesn't have to be a boulder anymore. I'm like, that is a nice plate.
But you do it in the tone, and, and everyone knows. They go, I like that plate.
I like that plate.
You just know where it's from instantly.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Love it.
Ogres have layers.
With speaking of layers, to be fair, I actually think so. We've kind of just said how Shrek, when we were a kid, we liked the movie, but it's just entertaining, right? And then when you get older, you start to think, why do I like the movie?
Yeah.
Right?
You start analysing it a little bit more.
Exactly, and I just think that when, like, having watched Shrek back, it's just it kind of, for me, especially for us guys, it kind of displays how we are, in the sense that it takes the tropes of fairy tales and it puts a spin on them in an interesting way, and that's kind of where we are as, like, in society, our culture now is like, let's take those older things and put a bit of a spin on them to freshen them up.
Yeah, as much as I don't like the term, it's very subversive.
I know what
It's
you
like
mean.
I know the
deconstructing.
word. I'm going to have to Google the specific meaning of the word.
It's like subverting expectations.
Okay.
Really, that's what
how
I'm trying to go for.
that was a fancy sentence.
But like, yeah, because
Meaning.
it has like the settings of a traditional fairy
I've got
tale.
it. Seeking or intending to subvert an established system or institution. 5 points for John.
5 points for Gryffindor.
Amazing.
Yay.
Yeah, that was. I feel more intelligent now. I've heard you say that.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
But
Carry
like
on.
a lot of modern films like tend to just use it as an excuse, but I think Shrek like actually uses it pretty well because
Yeah.
it's because the princess is expecting to be rescued by a knight, but it's just an ogre, and it's not. Shrek is more or less an alright guy where everyone else thinks he's just a monster. He's just someone who wants to be left alone at the end of the day.
That's true.
And I can relate to that. I
everyone
think we
can
can all introverts
definitely.
can relate to Shrek in a personal way.
Yeah, he's such a likable, relatable character. But going back on the princess thing, it's also not a love at first sight, which is that's been built up
Yeah.
over time, and like they hate each other at first, and
It's very like enemies to lovers trope,
yeah,
which is
exactly,
everyone
yeah.
loves like
It's
those kind of
still-
things.
There's still tropes in it, obviously, but
Yeah.
but they're a bit more fun, and it switches up the fairy tale in terms of Princess Fiona, even in her human form, still a badass.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
she beats up, is it like when Robin Hood
Yeah.
or whatever, they come after her and she like knocks them all out and
And
Shrek's the one
yeah.
that's been like caught.
And she sings and like the birds blow up and like
So funny.
that's how she has like food and stuff. And I'm like, you've been in like a castle for years, and that's why you've not grown up as a princess because she's been in a castle for however long.
Surviving, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
she's had
true.
to learn to survive.
Yeah, just a badass
Yeah.
basically.
How is that then? So being a female, as we suspect you are,
Damn.
did that have any effect on you as a kid, or now that you've grown up, do you look back and think actually it's nice to have a female character that isn't just Sleeping Beauty or Snow White that just lies there and literally just waits for a prince?
Well, to be honest, I've not really thought about it, but yeah, now when you say it, yeah, it is because we grew up with people like Hermione Granger, who's like,
Well, she's
a
the
very
smartest.
smart
Yeah,
person who helps save the world or whatever,
the Wizarding World.
the
at least.
Wizarding world.
Yes.
So those feel like a bit more obvious, but then when you do think about it, and you go, actually, yeah, she was just a badass princess that didn't take any shit from anybody. So I guess thinking back on it, it does like make you think, oh, that's shit.
I think it must
Cool.
it must have had some kind of
Yeah.
impact on the generation, not just for women but for like lads
Yeah.
as well, to look at characters like that and you just
And it's got like a good moral thing as well, because obviously they don't care about looks. Like she ends up as an ogre
yeah, that's
who
true.
everyone thinks is ugly, and it's like it doesn't matter. They just love each other, so who cares?
Mm.
So it's
Yeah,
got
so
a good like moral background for kids as well.
Yeah.
I was
I
waiting for
agree.
it to launch into more
Yeah.
I
like
100%
subversive.
agree. But like the thing is that she does start as because she's captured in the tower waiting for someone to rescue, but that's
Yeah.
because
I guess
she
in a
waited for-
way,
Go
she's a princess who's got.
the reason Shrek goes on this quest is because his swamp is now home to all the fairy tale
Of course,
creatures.
yeah.
Love that scene, by the way.
Great
Yeah.
Film, movie.
So he goes to Lord Farquaad's, who's wanting to rescue Fiona, but is actually going to send knights in his steed, in his stead.
Oh yeah, because he's a master delegator.
Yeah.
By the way, can we just touch on the Lord Farquaad thing?
Yeah.
So John only found this out today, and I only found it out the other month due to the internet. That Lord Farquaad is actually Lord Fuckwad.
Which is genius.
But
A genius way to get around a PG rating.
exactly, yeah. But that's just for anyone out there that didn't make that connection. There you
There
go.
you go, mind blown.
Mind blown. Sorry, John.
So like Shrek shows up, and like after like fighting a bunch of knights, Farquaad selects Shrek as the person to rescue Fiona, and he does that. But like Fiona's expecting like a human, a knight, and then she's like, no, like if Farquaad's going to rescue me, he has to come himself.
Yeah.
And then Shrek's like. Shrek says, I'm not a messenger boy, I'm a delivery boy. You wouldn't dare. And then like picks her up and like
Oh yeah.
and then she starts protesting.
And
but
then, and then it like cuts to her being like,
yeah.
yeah.
So like it's mainly because like she wants to get rid of that curse. Like because like the only way she can she's told the only way she can get rid of like not being turned into an ogre is if she has like true love's first kiss and whatnot. But like, so like that's the reason why she's staying in the castle. It's not because she can't get out. It's because it's what she was told.
Yeah.
It's a good character arc though,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because obviously you've just given Shrek's reasoning for what he's like. Well, I've got a motivation to do this, so fine. And then it's good storytelling on the point of, yeah, okay, Fiona has been told, well, I need to wait here for True Love's first kiss. So then it also gives them conflict because what they want essentially are two completely contradicting things. She's like,
Yeah, but
I
in
need
the
this.
end, they both have
And-
what they want, I guess.
And
Really.
obviously, Donkey's in the middle of all this.
Yeah,
And
the
perfect
OG
comedic-
third wheel.
Yes, perfect comedic relief.
I love Donkey. He's my favourite.
Oh, definitely.
Just the best character.
So might be my hot take for the film, but one bit I don't like. I mean, I don't like it in most films. Is like when they all fall out because of the misunderstanding. I feel like
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, he's like, for God's
because like
sake.
it just feels like it stops the film really, and like I said, it's not just applied to this film. I hate it when it happens in other films as well. Characters fall out because of a misunderstanding.
Yeah,
It's just
there's-
frustrating to watch, isn't it? Because it's like, just speak to each other and you'll be able to
Yeah.
rectify it. It's fine.
I think that's one of those things that now you watch a film and you get to about 3/4 of the way through it and that happens and you just go, yeah, okay, so we're building up to the final act.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, okay, that's where we're at.
We have to have a bit of conflict just
Yeah.
to get the ball moving.
Yeah, to for some reason for the final act to mean something
Yeah.
new and the characters come back together and it's like, But yeah, I think overall though, Shrek 1,
Solid film.
solid film. I have a little bit of a take after John's done. I've got it written down.
Oh.
And this is what I was going to tell you earlier, but I
Oh,
didn't.
is this your
I saved
fact?
it. I saved it.
Oh.
Just want to say soundtrack.
Oh, I was
Oh, no,
literally going to say
happy.
the same things
And to be fair, this runs at
throughout
least
all of them. The
well,
first two, yeah.
The first two at least. We'll get on to Shrek 3.
My
The
second point
first
on
two.
here is epic soundtrack. So
I
Epic.
think it was one of the first albums I ever owned.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Wow.
'cause
Just the soundtrack for the motion picture of Shrek, or was it?
it was the songs, you know, like
Yeah. all
All-
Smash Mouth, isn't it?
Smash.
Yeah,
the majority of it is Smash
All
Mouth.
Star.
Yeah. Hey
like
now,
there's-
you're
I
all
was
star.
staying alive at
There's
the end.
Bad Reputation.
Lord Farquaad's in his he's in the dragon's belly, and I'm pretty sure he's like.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's not like the karaoke thing. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I think is it? Or was that Shrek 2?
Shrek 2.
Shrek 2.
No, Shrek 2 had
Pop Idol.
Pop Idol.
that's
At the end,
funny.
I think it was in the VHS at the end of Shrek 1. They had like this karaoke thing where the character there was like a mashup of the like popular songs.
Oh really?
Yeah, because
I remember they all sing at the end anyway.
yeah, there's I'm a Believer.
That's
love
it,
that
yeah.
tune.
Then
So good.
Because like I said, after that there was at least on VHS there
I
was
don't
like
remember
a
this.
there was like an extra karaoke version where
I
like
don't remember either.
I think there might
It's a
be on
fever dream
YouTube.
that John's had.
Yeah.
No, I know it's
I
real.
know it's
I
real.
watched the video 100 times.
You could say John's a believer.
Hey!
Thank God, because I
I
was
was-
worried that was going to fall.
I was going to say something else about Lord Farquaad as well. Like, you know, the whole jokes for the adults as well.
Yes.
You know when he's sat in his bed, naked, obviously
yeah,
naked,
yeah, I do.
and he's like looking at Fiona or whatever. There's a point where he like lifts his the like duvet up, and he's like, and I was like, I've never noticed that before, but that's hilarious.
Do you know, actually, there's another bit in that scene as the camera pans across from, I think, his outfit and her outfit for the wedding, and it pans across the floor, and you see that, you know, the bears from, is it Goldilocks?
Goldilocks,
The Goldilocks bears. And at the start of the film, when Donkey's being,
Oh yeah,
dragged
and
around.
she's a rug.
she's a rug, yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Oh
actually
my
a rug.
God, really?
Yeah, and then you
she's-
see
it's
it later, and the dad and the baby are crying to each other.
Yeah, at the end of the film,
Yeah.
yeah, they actually kill her off-screen death.
Brutal.
Oh my God.
And yeah,
Wow.
I think John might need a minute to get over
I know,
it.
he's like, oh my god.
By the way, just to go back onto the soundtrack, I think, obviously, I'm a believer. I don't know who sang it originally, which is terrible research, but it's not a Smash Mouth original song,
That-
it's a cover.
Yeah, it's a cover.
But
it?
for our generation, that was
That's a
Smash Mouth song, do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, that's
That's what I mean when
how
I-
good the
So I
soundtrack
had a
was.
birthday party, as we know, about
She
for
goes on
Shrek.
about it.
I go on about it a lot. I think it was great, and I was putting together like the soundtrack for that, and obviously I just like a playlist for it, but put all of the soundtrack on. I realised just how much of it is Smash Mouth. I think the majority of it was
And that is just from Shrek. That,
Yeah.
I still have that still on, like, every playlist
the
I
Monkeys.
make is still... Is that who sung it
The,
originally?
Yeah.
the original, yeah. I thought it was either the Monkeys or, for some reason, the Beatles, because the Beatles wrote everything back then.
That's
you know,
true.
I had the Beatles would have been my guess, or Paul McCartney or someone would have been my
Yeah.
guess. As like, oh, maybe you. But to go back to the little take I have here. So was it John Lithgow? Is it Lithgow?
Lithgow, yeah.
Sorry, who voiced Lord Farquaad?
Mhm.
He said, obviously when he's reading his lines and whatnot, you're just in a booth with like the DreamWorks cast and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he said there was a guy there who just worked for DreamWorks, and he was doing the voice of Gingy. Like he was just reading with him, so he could get his lines and whatnot. And the guy was so good, they gave him the job as Gingy. That's
Stop it!
yeah.
No, I do like that fact. It's a good fact.
So I thought that was really cool.
And I loved their scene together.
It's amazing. I love that.
Do you
torture
know the
scene.
Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man! He lives on
Drury
Drury
Lane.
Lane!
I think
The
he-
Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man!
He's married to the Muffin Man.
He's married to the Muffin Man.
It's just the fact that he has milk that he's going to dunk him in.
Yeah.
torture him,
He's
broken
got a
his
leg
legs.
missing, and then throughout the rest of the film, then he's got like like
The icing.
stitches.
He's
yeah.
got icing
Yeah.
stitches, I think, for the rest of
It's
the
so
whole
good.
franchise. Amazing. Yeah, that is.
I mean, that brings me on to Shrek 2, but we'll move on.
Are we done with Shrek 1? I think as a
Yeah.
whole, Shrek 1,
Yeah.
awesome film, set the
Yeah.
franchise
Yep.
up, and just generally kids films.
Yeah.
I think it kind of changed a little
Yeah,
bit.
definitely.
Obviously, Pixar did have their things, but
For better and worse, I would say.
oh,
It can be cut.
So
if it's
a
shit
lot
job,
of animated movies since then have copied Shrek.
Yes.
Like a lot of celebrity voice actors, songs, like popular songs in it and whatnot, like lot references to modern day culture.
yeah,
Like
Yeah, it's okay to do it, but then when you
But-
overdo it and change
Yeah,
someone's
like-
idea, and it doesn't become a fun thing anymore.
oversaturating the market is
Yeah.
never a good thing, is it?
well, that's just it. It's a case of follow the leads. Oh, that film was successful. Let's copy everything they did and hope for the same thing.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing with like when Deadpool came out and Suicide Squad was very close afterwards, and they realised
Yeah.
just how good Deadpool was, so they re-edited it everything to try and make it funnier, and it just was choppy and weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I've
just
never
it.
wanted to rewatch Suicide Squad.
No,
But
That's
yeah.
all
I
can
watched
say
it once.
about
I was like, yeah.
I didn't even think it was that bad, but I rate a film usually on would I watch it again, and if the answer's no, then if it's fairly forgettable. It's like, well,
Yeah.
then no.
So like it's not Shrek's fault.
No, it's not. It's everyone that follows
It's everyone
Shrek,
that
yeah.
follows
Market
it.
leader.
It's market
Yeah.
leader at the end of the day. And like I would still happily watch it and recommend it at the end of the day.
So just to wrap up on Shrek 1, it was a blessing, but it also cursed itself. But
Yeah.
did Shrek 2 live up to the hype?
Yes.
of Shrek 1?
My first point on my list is best sequel. Is the best sequel, and it's better than the first one. And I think that's really hard with sequels to be better than the first one. A lot of sequels just
Okay.
Mm.
Well,
and I think it's the best sequel.
I think that's a good point. I think we should get into it. Cut. There we go. Just in case I can cut that down as like a 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and then we can do Shrek 2